Colorado Sports Connection.
Denver touchdown. A great job making the catch. They got both feet down. The Broncos will have the football on their 20.
Carmelo Anthony
Found the opening, and it's put down.
Nice up and under, and the finish. Great footwork.
Anderson had a pad down on the ice and somehow stopped it.
Great sequence for Craig Anderson.
Two-run single for Todd Helton, and the Rockies take the lead in the third inning, 2-1.
Hello everybody and welcome to Colorado Sports Connection. We're coming to you from Big Bill's New York Pizza in Centennial. I'm your host Daryl Navarro for Colorado Sports Connection, and today I have another special guest. This man is definitely a professional's professional. I met him when I was a senior at Metro State College, and he's definitely had a big influence on my life. He is the Vice President of Corporate Communications for the Denver Broncos, and he is Jim Saccomano. And my guest, Jim, one of the things I like to ask all my guests is, how did it all get started for you right here in Colorado?
Well, I happen to be a native, Daryl, and went to high school and college, went to Metro State. Eventually got a master's from CU, but that was a little bit down the road. After I graduated from Metro State, I did a tour in the Army, and then I had GI Bill benefits, and so I did that. But when I was at Metro, I thought I wanted to work in broadcasting. I knew I wanted to work in sports. So I began my career in radio as a radio reporter, going to all the press conferences, doing dozens and dozens of sportscasts a week at an all-new station, and doing a talk show and that kind of stuff. Station was purchased by someone else who was going to make it a country western. So we were all going to very politely lose our jobs. And among the people I'd met along the way, I was very close to the baseball people here with the Denver Bears. And I had a chance to go to work for the Denver Bears as the PR director. I did so, and over the course of a little bit of time, concluded that in my case, I preferred sports administration and sports public relations to broadcasting, and I really enjoyed working with the Bears. After about a 3-year period with the Bears, and along the way getting a master's degree, I was fortunate enough to join the Denver Broncos, and I've been there for quite a while since.
Now, is this your 33rd year with the Denver Broncos?
Now, this is my 33rd year with the Broncos, and in fact, I'm the longest tenured sports administrator in the history of any professional sports teams in the state of Colorado.
Now, when you came, before you came to the Denver Broncos 78, you had mentioned you were with the Denver Bears.
Right.
Now, they had a lot of great athletes for that team as well, because they were the farm team, I believe, for the Montreal Expos.
That's correct. In fact, I got my first ring, if you will, in 1977 with the Bears.
That's when they won the AAA
They won the
title.
AAA title, and they really did have a lot of great players who came through here and went on to, there was a great minor league history in Denver before the Rockies came, and I was lucky enough to be just for a 3.5 year period, but to be part of that.
Now, talk about, let's go back to the Denver Bears quickly, about some of the players that had an impact on you when you were a young, up and coming, administrator.
Well, a lot of them, they were like I was, because I was a young PR guy and administrator, and they were young players. They're on their way up, and you watch them, and you deal with them, and you work with them, and then some of them went on to have great careers. Now, a couple of them had their great years here just before I was with the team, like a Tim Raines was great, but I had some guys.
Was it Andre Dawson?
No, he was a year before too.
Okay.
But I had Gary Renicky, who went on to a 12 to 14 year major league career, was on a world championship team in Baltimore. Had a lot of names. Jerry White, who's still the first base coach for the Minnesota Twins. Jim Marshall was our manager. There were a lot of guys who, their names may not be very well known, but they had long careers in major and minor league baseball. And baseball people would know them. And it's that 6 degrees of separation that you touch the careers of a lot of people,
sure,
going up and going down in your own profession.
What's going through your mind then? Here you are, you're with the Denver Bears, right, and then all of a sudden you hear Colorado may get a Major League Baseball team.
Well,
did you think we could support a team at that time?
Yes, I did, and I don't know what the answer would have been, but I thought we did. In fact, at that time, I actually thought I was going to wind up working in baseball because we're going to get a major league team, and I'm going to be the PR guy. Well, we know it doesn't necessarily work that way, Daryl. We could have gotten a team and they hire somebody from Detroit or Cincinnati or something. In any case, when the Broncos called me, they actually called me. My phone rang at night, I remember, and it was the Broncos PR director. It's one of those calls that when you answer it and you hear the voice at the other end, you know, I'm not getting this call at home at 9 o'clock at night. I immediately thought it can only be one thing. I don't work there, so they're not calling to fire me. They're calling probably to tell me something. And sure enough, they said so-and-so is going to the San Francisco 49ers. The world doesn't even know it yet. Nobody knows it. But the job is yours if you want it. And then they added, you know, we know that we're on the verge of Major League Baseball. And there's probably a lure of you doing that. But a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, and we're offering you this job now. So after a little soul searching, not too much soul searching, I took the Broncos job, which is just as well, because the A's at that time couldn't get out of their lease, and it was going to be a while yet before we had Major League Baseball.
Ended up being a wise move, and we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about your transition from the Denver Bears to the Denver Broncos. When we come back, we'll continue our talk with Jim Saccomano of the Denver Broncos right here on Colorado Sports Connection.
One thing about Castle Pines Jewelers is that you'll always walk away with a good experience. We have quality jewelry. It's one-of-a-kind pieces. It's custom design. We have our unique style, and it's your style also that you can put into it. We have a full shop on premises. We create a lot of our pieces here. We're not your average jewelry store. We're their hometown jeweler. We've been in the area for a long time. We love what we do for our community here.
Visit Castle Pines Jewelers. One-of-a-kind jewelry for one-of-a-kind customers.